Welcome to the Word of Truth. This is Teacher D.H. Boone. Today's message is called God Will Always Be There, No Matter What. When you think about it, God is there no matter what. Whatever you go through in life, you have to realize God is always there. We don't have to wait on God. God is already there. He's inside of us. He's the one who's making our heart beat. He's the one that allows us to breathe his air. He's the one who makes sure that our brain is functioning. You know, when we think about the goodness of God, we have to think about that God is never late. And God is there for us no matter what. When God don't allow something to transpire, it's for our greater good. And when God allows something to happen, it's for our greater good. God's ways and thoughts is so much higher than ours. Whatever you're experiencing in your life today, you have to realize it's for your better good. Even though if you did something hurtful to yourself, or damaging to yourself, you have to realize what the enemy means for bad, God used for good. When we allow the enemy to tempt us to do certain things, we have to realize that it is the enemy who gets us to disobey God. But we have to realize what he do for bad, you know, God would use for good. Because first and foremost, we have to, God said he chastised the one he loves. So when God chastises us, he's letting us know that the enemy's way is wrong. So that gives us a chance to make things right and to repent and say, God, Lord, I am sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I shouldn't have did that. Lord, your ways and thoughts is higher than mine. Lord, I tried to make the easy way out. I tried to do this. But Father, I did things that I realized that was wrong. See, when the enemy get us to do things that is wrong, it actually is a tool to help us to learn, because when he tempts us to do something we know is wrong and we get reprimanded for it, you know, we get chastised for it, that's God loving us enough to say, hey, that is wrong, that is the wrong way, you know, this is the way that you will fall, this is the way that you will get hurt, this is the way that you will have to pay for something that's painful that you know that you don't want to pay for. So you have to realize that God never leaves us. He never forsakes us. God say, if you don't forsake me, I want to forsake you. Even when we forsake God, God still is there for us. You know what I'm saying? God does not treat us the way our sins deserve. And I know I say that a lot because I need to stress it, because people don't realize how good God is and how faithful he is and how he's there for you when nobody else is. You know, you have to realize that if God's there for you, you need to learn God. And see, anytime that you feel that you love somebody more than you love God, then that is wrong, because God does stuff in order and decently. And so if you got somebody ahead of God, God will remove that thing that's ahead of God, because God said, I am the first and I am the last. I am the Alpha and I am the Omega. Don't nobody gonna come before me, and ain't nobody gonna come behind me, because God is all by himself. Didn't nobody make it God, and God, his ways and thoughts is higher than ours. So you have to realize, if you have some type of issues with people leaving you, you have to realize God is a good God, and God, he allowed things to happen for a reason. God will remove any person, place, or thing out of your life that you feel that's more important to him. You have to see God first, because God is the one who woke you up this morning. God is the one who got your heart beating. God is the one that making you able to see. You know, God is the one that letting you breathe his air. God is the one that provides. God is the one who forgives. God is the one who opened doors that was closed doors that was open, and make doors when there wasn't a door. God is the one. So now is the time for you to realize that, hey, God never leaves me. He never forsakes me. God is always there for me no matter what. You know, even when I'm wrong, I can look over my life and I can see times that God gave me favor even when I was wrong. When I did some things that I shouldn't have, God still gave me his favor. That was him letting me know, through whatever you did, my grace is sufficient enough for you. My love and my mercy endure forever, because I'm not going to never forget my mercy and my compassion, because I love you. And I know sometimes when we go through things, it's hard. And sometimes, you know, we get down and we get depressed because we're not used to what happened and we didn't ask for it, you know. But you always have to go to Job and realize that God, he ended up restoring double what Job had. You know why? It's because he came to his senses and he realized that, hey, I can't put nobody in front of God. I had all this stuff and God took it away. But when I came in the world, I came with nothing. So I have to realize how much God loves me. And I have to realize that, hey, God is the one. He the creator of heavens and earth. He the one who excuse me, created me and everything. And I can't put nothing ahead of him. And I have to make sure that I don't curse his name with my mouth, and I don't speak of things that I don't have no knowledge of, the things above my head. I have to make sure I keep my mind in an even level, the way it's supposed to be. I'm not supposed to think too high of my thoughts, like my thoughts is above God, because they're not. God's ways and thoughts is above mine. So I have to realize that God is a good God, and no matter what, that he knows the way. And just like Job, you know, even though he was sad and things happened to him that he didn't ask for, I know things is going to happen to me. That's what you have to realize. Things are going to happen to you that you ain't asked for, that you didn't see coming, that you didn't even do, and that you didn't want. But you have to realize you have to go with the flow. You have to realize that, hey, God will do for you what you can't do for yourself. And God will make sure that you give a living sacrifice, that you give a sacrifice. And God say, you know, because if I didn't touch these things, allow the enemy to touch these things, that you would not have given them up. Would you have sacrificed these things if God told you to? So sometimes you have to keep your eyes on God, and if God have removed something out your life, you have to say, Lord, I guess this is my sacrifice. Lord, your ways and thoughts is higher than mine. Lord, if you want this person, this place, or this thing, or these people to come back in my life, Father, I know that you'll bring them when it's time. But Lord, I'm willing to sacrifice this, because you sacrificed your only son for me. And so, Lord, if I have to sacrifice something for you, Father, then that's what it is. Father, I just thank you in Jesus' mighty name. See, it come to a point when you down to nothing, like Job was down to nothing. Everything was away from him, even his health. And that's when he had nobody else. He had no choice but to see God. And when he saw God and he realized that, hey, you know, God, you're still here. Even when my friends was trying to accuse me of things that they didn't know, you know, and they trying to accuse me of things that I know I didn't do and I wasn't guilty of, God, you were still there for me. You sustained me, you know, and God talked to him. Even when Job had questions, God let him talk. God let him get it out. But then when he was done, then God started questioning him, you know. And then he was like, oh, God, you're right. I said some things that was above my head. I questioned some things that was above my head. Lord, I'm sorry. I repent. I'm sorry, you know. And see, when he realized that, hey, his ways and thoughts is lower than God's, and God's ways is higher, and God knows what he's doing. God's the one who created heavens and earth. God, the one who created him, that he realized that it was time for him to shut up and just go with the flow. And that's when God say, hey, you know what? I will going to restore double to you. And even he made his friends bless him too, you know. And see, that's why when somebody talking against you and somebody saying some things, somebody pointing fingers at you, all you have to do is give it to God, because God say, I will make them bless you. They talked about you, but I will end up making them bless you. I love you, and I just thank you for when you come to me in prayer, when you come to me in faith, when you come to me, when you bring your concerns to me, because I love you and I care for you. God said, I will be for you. All you got to do is just trust me. Put your faith and trust in me, and trust that the things I allow to go in your life is for your greater good. Even if you don't understand it, you have to say, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. I come in the world with nothing, and I'm going to leave with nothing. Blessed be the name of the Lord. So you have to realize God is a good God. He's a faithful God. He's a God that do exceeding and above whatever we could imagine. He's not going to put you into something, you know. Not going to put more on you than you can bear. He's not going to do the things that you can't handle. God said, I won't put more on you than you can bear. We put things on ourselves that we can't bear. God said, when I allow you to go through something, it's for your reason and you can handle it, because I wouldn't put more on you. I will only allow you to go through things that I know you can handle. So I want you to realize that God is always there. You have to trust him. You have to put your faith and trust in him, and know that he will do exceeding and above whatever you could imagine. Trust him. Don't put nobody ahead of him. Know that God, if he for you, can't nobody be against you. Now is the time for you to know that he can and he will. In Jesus' mighty name. Until next time, peace.